Welcome to Beyond the Lab, a series by the Office of Career Development within the Biomedical Research, Education and Training Department of the Vanderbilt University School of Medicine. My name is Kate Stewart, and I'm here today with Lesa Black. Thanks for coming. You did your postdoc here at Vanderbilt?
So yes, I did.
Tell me about your time training at Vanderbilt.
I started here in 2005 in the lab of Dr. Chris Aiken, microbiology and immunology. As a postdoc, I was awarded an NRSA fellowship during my time with him, and my research focus was on TREM5 alpha restrictions on HIV pre-assembly, one of the phases of the HIV life cycle. It was a great experience working with him, but then as I was learning the basic methodologies, I realized that there was an interest in clinical research. So after spending 3 years with him, I transferred into Dr. John Oates' lab in clin pharmacology. And in there, I was focusing on aspirin resistance. And part of my goals in working with Dr. Oates' lab is learning about clinical administration, regulations, and he gave me those opportunities to seek out workshops and talk with individuals in alternate careers in clinical administration to see what it was that I liked and what aspects that I could follow or courses I could take to help develop my skill sets.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me about what you do now. Give me your title. And
now I am a scientific review analyst in Victor, the Vanderbilt Institute for Clinical and Translational Research.
Okay.
I manage our Victor funding program, and that is our startup funds for clinical research.
Okay.
If an investigator here at Vanderbilt or Meharry has an idea, they want to test the feasibility, or they want some startup funds for preliminary data, they can apply to our program. Okay. We do have a review process and a scientific review committee, but we give them the startup or the means to develop their ideas to get that preliminary data to apply for a larger grant.
Okay, so what does that look like every day? Like, what are some of your daily activities?
My daily activities, talking with investigators about our program, how to apply online, what the requirements are, the minimum requirements for a clinical study for our program, what resources are available to them through our program, but then also throughout Victor, there's a number of other resources that are available. Okay. But mostly it's to help them develop their application, their proposal, the resources for their pilot, so that they're successful in achieving their goal of obtaining that larger grant to develop their career.
Okay, so how is that job a good fit for you personally? Like, what are some of the skills that you have that make you a good fit for that job?
Well, I love working with people. I love helping, I guess, the development of research.
Yeah.
And so as I've been working in this position, it gives me the opportunity to meet a lot of investigators, a lot of early investigators, to help with their development, get them started, not just with our pilot program, but also part of my position is helping them with their IRB submissions as far as our requirements for Victor. Sure. We're also looking at their grantsmanship when they're writing their proposals. If the aims of their study are a little off, we help kind of redirect. Okay. We want them to be, or their project to be, the best that it can be, so that they can get that larger grant, get that publication. So I, or we, Victor, are in the business of helping our investigators get started and hoping that they'll be successful in the long run. And it serves not only Victor, but the institution overall. Great outcomes.
Okay. So you were mentioned during your time with Dr. Oates that you participated in some workshops and some further coursework. What were some of the things that you did in training that maybe you should have done to help prepare you for your job now? Like, what would you wish you would have learned? Because it seems like you did a good job taking taking advantage of the things that you were given then, what do you think would have helped you prepare more for your current job?
More networking.
Okay.
Developing more networking skills.
Okay.
By nature, I'm a shy person,
Yeah.
so it was hard to just walk up to people and just say, "Hi, how are you?"
Yeah.
And what is it you do? And
Yeah.
so that part of it would have been nice to find something to help me get more out of my shell.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm able to talk to you now because I talk to investigators a lot now.
Yeah.
But when you start off as a postdoc, it's really your project and you're almost kind of siloed and just working on your own.
Yeah.
And so communication skills was another thing that I really needed to learn because now I'm part of a team.
Right.
And not just a team, I'm talking with investigators every day, helping them. So that would have been very helpful if I knew of the workshops to learn about clinical research and how to set up a clinical project and all of those things, but I wasn't aware of like the team building. So that was something I had to learn over time, which at first wasn't as easy.
Okay.
When you're used to just doing things on your own in your own way.
Okay. So you mentioned networking. What are some of the ways that you network now that you have the job that you want? What are the ways that you maintain your professional relationships?
Well, now with this program, like I said, we have webinars, we have clinic sessions with our investigators. We do reach out to our departments and work with Meharry to do training sessions. So we're constantly going to different departments, going to Meharry to do training sessions. We try to have available on our website times where we can sit with our investigators for an individual session and work with them one-on-one. And then also from our program, we do quite a few announcements, Vanderbilt wide for any new pilot opportunities. So that's another way that we're able to at least network within our institution.
So tell me about your work-life balance. How is that?
It's going really well. Victor is a very family-friendly environment, so I'm able to adjust my schedule to when I need to leave a little early, for after-school recreational event or dance practice. So far, I've been able to balance both pretty well.
Okay, good. What are some words of wisdom that you would give current PhD students and postdocs if they were interested in going in the field that you are in?
I would say reach out to an individual who is working in the area that you're interested in. There's always an opportunity to shadow or at least have a conversation about what they do, about their experiences. I have learned in my talking with individuals, everyone's path is different, and you have to sort of develop your own. But part of that development is knowing and reaching out to someone and say, "Hey, I'm interested in what you're doing. Tell me about it." So for sure this is something you want to do, and ask them, "How did you get to where you are? What experiences did you have? What were the pros and the cons?" And take that information and develop your own way for your own interest.
So tell me about your other job that you do.
I also work with the Mid-South Clinical Research Data Network.
Okay.
And in that role, I am a research navigator.
Okay.
And that means that I help establish collaborations between investigators who are interested in working with our network and the partners within our network. We have Vanderbilt, UNC, Meharry, Duke, Wake Forest, Medical University of South Carolina, as well as the Health Sciences of South Carolina and Greenway Health as partners within our network. And we have access to electronic health records within each of those institutions. And so investigators who are interested in doing de-identified research on health records or using those records to increase their enrollment or establish enrollment for their project, they're able to reach out to us to establish collaborations. I engage investigators here at Vanderbilt for those purposes, and then I work with the teams at the other sites to bring together investigators who are interested in working on a project. I've been doing that for about 2 years now, and it's a developing role because it is a new network, and we're reaching out to investigators or receiving requests from investigators to help with establishing collaborations or the feasibility for doing a specific project in a given institution.
Okay, and how did you land that piece while you were working at Victor?
Because of my interactions with investigators through our funding program, they thought that I would be a good fit for helping to establish collaborations with that network. So now, with my connections through the pilot program with investigators here at Vanderbilt, I am now also establishing collaborations throughout the Mid-South with these other institutions. So when we have a project come up, my first thoughts are, you know, who have I interacted with on like a cardiovascular type project? This person may be a good fit. So I develop a list of investigators and, of course, consult with our leadership of the network to make sure that these individuals are who they would like for me to reach out to. And then reach out to them to see if they're interested in participating. So I guess another step of networking, and the two jobs kind of correspond with each other in the way that I reach out.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.